Side swipe galore at the front. Oh, what's going to happen here? On the back. Looks like Mr. Brisket and Don Teacher both make an early one. Oh, no! He's going for it. Where's he going to appear? Anyway, as the community... Ooh. No! Always turns to shambles when our specials talking to shambles. Oh my name! And that look, I'm gonna call this early doors. That looked like a takeout. Oh no! Spoon! Oh no! No! This ain't a ball, please. Oh! 123.9. Oh no, there's a late winner! He's that! Well, Spoony out of nowhere! Six of that, they wanted him. Oh, what a rubbish track we joined that was! What a move! Is he going to make it stick though? Tough corner to make it stick on. Is he going to go round the outside? Unbelievable! Oh! Wow, wow, wow.
Fantastic move.
The most dynamic commentary duo on Twitch.
The fastest growing racing community on Discord.
Welcome to the NoobGamerz.
Oh, the crowd is pumped this evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare for another Thursday night of Project Cars 2 entertainment courtesy of the NoobGamerz. And welcome to the depths of the studio where the party's kicking right off. Welcome, here we go then, 8 PM as ever is the time. The place is right goddamn here. And we're ready for round 2 of season 19 in the Lotus Open Wheelers. And last week was an absolute humdinger, 40 minutes of all action entertainment brought live to your screens, because there's only one goddamn place to be, and that's right here on NoobGamerz TV. Taking you through all the trials and tribulations tonight along by my side, giving you track facts, snack facts, that's quite hard to say quite quickly, and all the information you could possibly want on anything in the world. His name is Jamie.
Good evening. Do you want to have another go at those words there? Or you're
Track,
good?
facts, snack, chats. Try and say that quite quickly. That's quite a hard one, to be fair. Go on, you go.
Jimmy just making me laugh.
Go on.
You couldn't
You say
hear
it.
it constant to say that. Track, facts, snack, chats.
That's not quick enough. Not quick enough.
Well, it's way quicker than you.
Yeah,
Track,
fair.
facts, snack, chats.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, well
Okay,
done.
thank
Anyway,
you.
Jamie,
Thank
how are you, man?
I'm good, man. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
You're all black tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting freaky down in
Dark.
this club, you know. Black night it is tonight. You've just got to wear all black, get dark, get into the crowd, and just get in amongst it tonight, Jamie. You know, it's absolutely popping off tonight. Absolutely.
It is. You do absolutely do. Yeah, Jimmy just mocking you for your many domains there, Ryan. Any thoughts on that? Or?
No thoughts. So tonight we're at
No thoughts.
Zolder, second round of the championship. And last week, Jamie, it was redonkulous, wasn't it? I mean,
It was amazing.
just probably one of my favourite races of the last 12 months. It has to be said.
I was just going to ask you that. Actually, is it potentially your favourite race you've ever seen? It's certainly top 10 of all the races we've done, and that's a lot of races.
It's a lot of races. I mean, Jamie, I'm saying top 5, mate. That's without
Top
even
5.
thinking. I'm going top 5 last week's race. It was.
We've probably done hundreds
frantic.
of races.
Yeah, genuinely, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it was great. And we ended with a I don't want to be harsh, but slightly surprised winner, you could say, Ryan Theg, taking his first ever win.
Yeah,
Ethan,
I mean,
absolutely, mate. It is too many races. Yeah, I say this every week, but they still keep dragging me back out. But anyway, yes, no, it was a cracker race. So I'm hoping for the same again. I mean, these cars, obviously a little bit alternative, you could say, to what most Project Cars or sim racing game leagues can consist of. But you know, it's nice to mix it up every now and then.
exactly, and that's what we're here to do tonight, ladies and gentlemen, mixing it up as ever, bringing you these Lotus vintage cars. And as I said, last week's race gave us an absolute cracker. So tonight we take to another track. Tonight the drivers are back, the commentators are back, you at home are back to experience sim racing like no other. It's of course the NoobGamerz, and it's time to go down to trackside now and get to grips with our drivers this evening to see if they can get to grips with these cars at this track tonight. Let's do this, people. Oh, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. 3 minutes to go of the practice session, and the man from last week, Jamie, who took the race by storm, leads once again. Oh, this is awkward.
It's ungood.
Let me start again. The man from last week started. He's in the position that he started in for the last lap of the race, Jamie, and he ended up first. He's back in third place. Theg. Is that better? That works, doesn't it?
That's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, he's full. No, he's not. Yeah, it was. I mean, you have to remind yourself of that actually. Going into the very last lap of the race, Theg was third place, and he ended up winning the race.
Yeah.
Absolute scenes, I think is the only word Scottish Wife's here, which is amazing. Ethan's here. Osmo Speed is here. How did you join the race? There's the Discord link. Osmo, jump in there. There's all sorts of useful information, and you can sign up and get involved with any of the events on Project Cars, Race Room, or soon to be an ACC league, Ryan.
Exactly. All the leagues you could possibly want. More leagues than you could ever need. Just pure simulation action down at the NoobGamerz. Get on down. Nearly 1,000 people now crammed into the NoobGamerz Discord, Jamie. Just, taking in all the events they could ever desire.
Cram them in, yeah. It's nice to give all these lonely people a place to come together and chat. That is a ridiculous amount of people in voice chat, Ryan. Let me just count that. You can chat while I just count that.
I mean, we've got to be touching on 30 people in voice chat, getting excited for tonight's race. But anyway, the Toasty Toe cannot make it. Not sure I can make it. G-Hub update has shafted me with things. Oh no! So the wheel's not working for the Toasty Toe. Well, hopefully, Toasty Toe, you've still got time. We're obviously in practice at the moment. We've got qualification next. So you've got just over 20 minutes to try and resolve the issue, and you should be able to join the race. And Ethan says he'd be out there, but these cars are just way too hard to get a handle on, and my brake pedal has been acting up. Yeah, you certainly don't want to be racing without a brake pedal. Looking competitive at the top early doors though, Jamie. Lots of 155s in behind Dazza and Racer, and Nashif now taking the top of the leaderboard by storm.
Absolutely. There's 28 people in the voice chat, Ryan, which is more than the number of drivers we've got even out there. So that is crazy scenes. Yeah. It was only last week, wasn't it, that you were hoping Ethan? We were talking about Ethan because I think it was last week. You wore the Ethan shirt, didn't you?
Yeah. So Ethan was in the boys.
Coming.
He was just in the boys' channel before. Got my hopes up, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to put the Ethan T-shirt on just for him, and he didn't make it. So these things happen, I guess.
But you sort of, in a way, you sort of summoned him this week, would you say?
Well, he's one step closer to the track by being in the Twitch channel voice, Twitch channel chat. So perhaps next week, Jamie, he would have done that a little bit more practice, and we can see him back on the black stuff, getting stuck into the racing. Maybe we'll see.
Perhaps, mate. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So Nashift's had a bit of a patchy racing career over the last couple of months. Would you say, Ryan? Sort of been in and out, always got that pace. But you know, not put a consistent run together, been in and out of different competitions and stuff. But that's a great lap he's put in there, actually pipping Dazza by 1/10, Ryan, which is not a mean feat, really.
Exactly. I mean, we've not really spoken about Dazza much at all already this evening. You know, he's straight back up there, Jamie. Obviously, he has been a little bit off colour the last few weeks, not quite able to compete at the very top end of the grid, and obviously hasn't even joined us for some of the championships. You know, him and Yerasan, for example, you know, Yerasan was up there, Dazza was not up there last week. Those two love a battle. But are we going to see it tonight? Although Racer, right at the end, Jamie, squeezing in a slightly quicker time, very close to being the first person in the 153 club. And let's hope for his sake, Jamie, that his connection issues from last week are resolved.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Racer setting a absolutely blistering time last week to take pole, didn't he? Looked all set to maybe claim his first ever NoobGamerz win. I mean, the amount of people that could have taken their first wins last week was absolutely unbelievable. But unfortunately, yeah, his connection let him down in the race, and he got some serious lag. But his pace is undeniable in these cars. Just something about it, because you know he's always been a quick racer and a consistent guy, but never necessarily been at the absolute sharp end. No, certainly that we've seen. I think that's probably fair to say.
Yep.
But something about these cars just speaks to him, Ryan. He's just plugged into them.
Exactly. Kingsley said, though, he says the faces of the drivers look like Play-Doh. He's not wrong, to be fair. Ethan's off the whack on his Ethan t-shirt. And Kingsley, I think they're just trying to do some troubleshooting live on the stream there, which is, you know, just what all this community is about. And Theg drops by. What's up, boys? Well, the sky for one thing, but we're all right, I think, aren't we, Jamie?
Theg, yeah, I thought fresh off that momentous win last week, he'll be hoping to repeat that, Ryan, tonight, I'm sure.
Exactly that. So free practice down to a close here at Zolder GP. Racer, Nashift and Dazza take your top three positions with Theg, Chambernet, Tony, Brimode, King Kodiak, Duncan and Took squeezing into the top 10. Beyond them, we got Baki, Buzzerwhack, Fridge, Mr. Rich, Crichton Alpha, Badapane, McFly, Roughneck1, Yerasan, Cycle Lizard, Andre Hildebrand, Bobber, Blindshun, Qblocks, and Omasaur all getting stuck in for tonight's 20-minute qualification session, Jamie.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Let's do it indeed. So here we go. The skies are blue, the sun is out, the grass is green, and here come the cars.
Yeah, we're on with one of your faves, right? Andre Hildebrand, as he takes us out into this wind turbine dotted horizon here. The lovely Zolder, Ryan.
Lovely Zolder, yes, looking good. Renewable energy at the forefront here, which is fantastic.
Is that wind turbines on top of a power plant there?
I mean,
a traditional power plant?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
That would be fantastic. Yeah, that would be great. A lot of the guys in the week run, I'd like to send the spies out into practices and stuff, do some interviews, get some feedback, as you know. Feedback generally seems to be that this track suits this car significantly better than the Red Bull Ring did, although judging by this scene, that's not the case. Terrible timing yet again. But a lot of the guys feeling a lot more comfortable, I think, this week with this car. But apart from Blindshun, 6, he's gone for the one grid place penalty, Ryan. Early doors, Blindshun. Oh.
He just loves it. He's so eager, Jamie. So eager that he's picked himself up a penalty. But yeah, there's certainly titans of industry here at Zolder with all these very many. We've got solar panels, we've got wind farms, we've got power plants going on. They've just got so much power to harness from so many different sources. But it is a great little track, to be fair. Some very interesting corners, especially the one that Blindshun's just about to go around now. The little left of right. I mean, that I know in the past that has caught out many people in perhaps quicker cars, given But you know, when you've got perhaps 10 cars all herring into that little section, it could get a little bit messy.
Could get massage, yeah, indeed. Let's jump on with perennial NoobGamerz favourite. Is Toot Ryan. There he is in his little car with his little driving gloves on, his little helmet. And they look so funny, the guys in these cars. They look so weird. What's the best? Look at them. And their little masks on. They got their coronavirus masks on, look.
Yeah, of course they have. COVID safe racing here.
COVID safe racing.
Gamers. Obviously, I'm not wearing a mask because I am, in a solitude, a room of solitude with, glass all around me. So I'm completely safe in the commentary box. You're obviously in your own box next to me as well.
Yeah, completely separate.
Completely separate. Yeah, completely separate.
Yeah. Just a little tube between us.
Yeah.
That sounds bad.
What's the tube for?
Well, I was thinking like passing snacks or stuff, but this one race is going to produce the same amount of carbon that the renewable energy in the background saves. I like that a lot. McFly, Ryan, Marty McFly. I mean, I guess he'll be hoping they can go back to the future.
Oh yes, Jamie, he's here. He's certainly here.
Doesn't
Marty
make sense.
McFly.
Doesn't mean anything. But don't worry about it.
Yeah, we don't need meaning in this commentary, Jamie. We just need great athletic puns. Is what we need.
Athletic, yeah, absolutely.
But anyway,
Yeresan Ryan had another one of many actually that had a very eventful race last week, didn't he? But always going to be threatening for those top 3 positions. You feel?
yes, I wonder whether he's gone for the wireless headphones tonight, Jamie. Given his escapades last week, where Yeresan, challenging for the lead of the race. I think he was in like 2nd or 3rd at the time, and his headphone
He's
wire
winning, I think.
got caught around. Yeah, he was definitely high in contention, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And his headphone cable got trapped around his wheel, and it caused him to go off the track, and he came, I think, 8th in the end, wasn't he? So, yeah, maybe he's made that investment, Jamie, because all sim racing games pay to win.
Absolutely pay to win. Although Scottish Ian, of course, the anomaly that proves the rule in that case. Always got to be one. Dazza as well, Ryan. Don't discount Dazza. He was away and clear, you have to say, in the lead at the start of the race, following Racer's exit. So we sort of had Racer look like he was going to win at first, then he dropped out, then Dazza looked like he was going to win, then he had the double pit stop error, then Yeresan looked like he was going to win, then he tripped over his headphones, then King Kodiak looked like he was going to win, was it? And then he had the penalty, and then Peg won.
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely nuts out there, to be fair. No, it was Bobber, wasn't it? It was Bobber who had the double pit stop error. Yeah, Dazza struggled to get into the top 10 last week.
Was it Bobber? Yeah, it's Bobber. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But yeah, so much stuff went on last week that it was crazy. However, one thing, Jamie, Snapchat. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Qualification is underway, which means one thing, we're bored of racing now. We just sit back and watch them. They can get on with it. We guess the snack, Jamie, and here it is tonight: a shake of a box and a knock of a box. Hear that?
Yeah. The shake and the knock sounded quite similar.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Kingsy's in tonight, isn't he? So Kingsy, obviously the hero of the champion of Snapchat. Oh, he's gone in. He's gone in early doors there. Maltesers. I did wish I had a Maltesers right now.
We've just polished one off in our race.
Have you? Or just today?
No, like just the last few of sort of
like Christmas job, yeah. Nice.
So it could have been Maltesers Kingsley, but it's not. There's always another guess. Well, welcome everyone to the NoobGamerz. We are going racing tonight at Zolder. We're in week 2 of our 4-week season. Obviously, a raft of changes announced, Jamie, in the Discord channel in the last week for the NoobGamerz schedule.
Oh, really?
We've got some brand new content, #content, coming live to people's faces, Jamie, with Monday nights now being adorned by ACC and the Monday Night Club, a little thing me, you and Jimmy are going to be doing. We've still got Project Cars, we've still got Race Stream, we've got Rocket League coming back next week. So much fun things for people to get stuck into for 2021.
Absolutely, yeah. What a week. What a week. #content. controversial change. Is that a hidden pun there? Some kind of like Trevor's getting involved somehow.
Yeah,
Controversial. That could be a clue, Ryan.
could be a clue.
Yeah. Is it controversial? I mean, it's basically the same.
I mean, ultimately, with any change to anything in the world, normally something's got to miss out somewhere, even if it's something smaller. And race room was just moved from Mondays to Wednesdays.
You're not missing out, though, is it? It's still happening.
It's still happening. Yeah, it's still going on every Wednesday. It's not going anywhere. We just changed the day. They ran Mondays well, and we're going to give them the opportunity to go towards. You could say the better part of the week as the week goes on, Jamie. That's when the good stuff happens. So if anything, we've given them a better slot. Yeah.
Hump Day, Ryan, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think officially called. Yeah, which is always fun. Here's Nashif though. He's going to come up against a recovering car who quickly sort of gets out of the way, but oh my days, that's a exciting qualifying that for Nash there.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. Racer at the moment though, Jamie leads the way with a 1:54.1, very close to breaking into that 1:53. Crichton Alpha up to third place with a 1:56, but there's still 11 minutes to go. Plenty of time for people to get closer to Racer's time, and I feel like we're going to have a few people in the 1:54s come the end of this qualification session, Jamie.
Do you? Okay, a few people. A few is 3, so okay. Jelly bean, says Kingsley.
Kingsley just going solo on Snapchat tonight. But there's one. Bobber into the 1:54s with a 1:54.4.
Okay, you need one more for your
Need
prediction.
one more for the trifecta.
Looking good. Looking good.
There it is, Jamie. Nashif 1:54.8.
Oh,
So
he's done it. Didn't
people
take long.
starting to get in now. Are we going to see, though, question to you, any 1:53s tonight?
I mean, certainly Racer's capable. You'd have to say he's very close already, Ryan, and he'll be desperate to make up for his awful luck last week, I'd imagine. So, yeah, it's certainly possible. 10 minutes to go still as well. We're only halfway through.
It's just to let you know that the question was, are we going? I know it's possible. I mean, anything's possible. But
Well, not literally.
your
I mean,
opinion,
a 12-second lap's not possible.
are we going to see a 1:53 in your opinion? Yes or no?
Yes.
Ooh, okay, it's gone big. 1:53s is what Jamie thinks is going to happen here tonight. With 10 and a half minutes still to go, Jamie. Over halfway left of this qualification session.
Absolute scenes as Backy comes across the line and doesn't improve. Let's get the old track map up, right? Should we have a little look at the layout of this circuit?
Yeah.
What are you feeling about Zolder?
I mean, there's a lot of long straights where I think they make the difference here, because if you get a poor run out of a corner, you're going to lose yourself a decent amount of time here, aren't you? So, normally the tracks we have, there's shorter straights and perhaps more corners, but tonight there are some points where you can really get your foot down, and if you've not got a decent run into that straight, you're going to be there for the picking, aren't you, in terms of position?
This one particularly, Ryan. Ethan thinks it's a bit challenging. Either breaks too early or too late. I mean, both of those things are not preferable, Ryan.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that's sort of on my point, isn't it? If you break too late, you then got to slow right down. You're like, oh my god, I've gone over it, and then you don't have the run into the straight. And obviously, if you break too early, you then don't quite get up to the speed you want. You need that optimum braking zone to really carry as much speed as you can through the corners, so you can really make the most of the straights. Because even some of these corners, Jamie, you can pretty much go flat out, with a decent pace on a few of them. So it's all about those exits on those corners, and they've got to get it right tonight. Racing them, Jamie, in the pits.
In the pits, yeah. Oh, who's that yellow car? We've seen them a few times having a few issues. Backy looking pretty neat and tidy, right? Generally, on the whole.
Yeah.
Not, pushing right to the limit, but yeah, pretty neat and tidy, I'd say.
Yeah, it's certainly not bad at all. 4 people now, Jamie, in the 1:54 club. Daz has joined the party in 4th place with 1:54.7. But with still plenty of time left. Do not rule out. Oh my god!
Oh, baby.
That's a 1:53.7. Does Jamie Proud, gets inside the 1:53 club. We saw it flash up on the screen that Dazza had set the fastest lap, and he's not just set the fastest lap, Jim, he's nearly set it by half a second.
He's back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. The boy is back. Yeah, Kingsley saying his brake is a bit tricky. Ethan. So Ethan brakes too early and too late and gets on the power a bit too early. There's a few issues to sort out, Ethan.
Yeah.
But the good news is you've identified them. That's the key. Bendo's here as well. Good evening, Bendo. Zolder is one of those tracks that has never agreed with me. That's pretty fast, says Ethan. Yes, it is indeed.
The stupid thing is, I don't know whether anyone else noticed that just pop up on the screen there. Dazza's currently under the lap at the moment. He's actually going faster. The delta is better than his previous lap. So, he's not really now, but he was going faster. So he's still got speed in him to beat that time further.
Yeah, absolutely, Ethan. I have a week to get them right. Ethan, does that mean you'll be jumping in next week? That would be an absolute delight, Ryan, for us. Last week's second place actually crossed the line first, but then, courtesy of a few seconds penalty he had, gave up that winning position to Theg to take second. King Kodak yet to set a lap time at all, Ryan. So currently finds himself in 25th, ahead, however, of Q-Blocks in 26th, who also has not set a lap.
And Jamie, talking of things that are controversial, as we discussed earlier, look who comes rolling into the channel. Good evening, Trevor.
It's like we've summoned him, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit, yeah.
Someone good evening, Trev, yeah. Someone misspelt controversial earlier. Yeah. And I said, is that like a secret message hidden in there or something? And then you've appeared. I think we secretly summoned him. Benram, I just can't get a neck of it with the chicanes. I find it's too start-stop. Yeah, absolutely. That's all what you were talking about, right, isn't it?
Yeah, and the thing is, if you can't master those parts of the track, you just don't get the speed coming out of them. And you can look at the track map, Jamie. You can see those sections, in the centre of both parts of the track, top and bottom. And if you just go way too slow and too tentative through them, then you're onto the straights. And, other people can gain an enormous amount of time on you if they've got it right and you haven't. So, I guess the disparity between the people at the top of the leaderboard and the bottom of the leaderboard is probably greater here than perhaps other circuits that we've seen.
Perhaps so, Ryan. It's also a very long lap as well, almost 2 minutes, which always broadens the gaps out a bit. Kingsley needs a snack chat clue, Ryan. I had no idea who misspelled that controversial word, very beautifully spelled, Kingsley.
Exactly. The clue today is it is not a sweet snack.
You've finally gone savoury, have you?
As promised last week. I promised the people, Jamie, I'd go savoury, and I've done that tonight. Now, top 5 people, all within that 154, one in the 153. So, it's going to pop off at the top, Jamie. It has to be said. There's some very close times. Obviously, Dazza has got a decent lead, but behind him, Racer, Bobber, Chamberlain, and Nashift, they are very, very close. We've still got just under 5 minutes to go here, so do not rule anyone else out getting stuck into that club. They're only mustering up a 154.6 at the moment, but we know he can go quicker than that because we've seen it in practice.
155.6 for Thegas crying alpha goes wide. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would be hard pressed to be a better race at the top than last week, Ryan. If we get even half as good a race as last week, we'll be absolutely loving it. But yeah, you're right. It is looking like we're set for an absolute monster battle. Let's hope no one runs away with it, which definitely didn't happen last week. Trev's here. Crichton said he was going to win, so I thought I'd better watch. Well, yeah, Crichton currently 12th in qualifying. He was. I think he put a quicker lap in practice, Ryan. So he's definitely got a bit more pace there.
Yeah. As
Chambernator also joins the 154s, Ryan. So now there is 6 of them up there.
Well, it wasn't Chambernator, Jamie, that's joined the party. Chambernator's been there for a while. It was actually King Kodiak. He was yet to set the time. He's gone from basically last to 6th place. King Kodiak, for those of you who weren't here last week, was second on the start of the last lap and ended second. But he ended the race actually first, but penalties that he occurred brought him back down the grid, didn't it, Jamie? So, King Kodiak was most certainly in amongst it last week. He was still really happy with his performance, ended up in 2nd place, given the few things that, knocked him offline, so to speak. But, 6th place, given the competition here tonight, is probably pretty chuffed with that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's looking very good at that. And you know, we saw last week there will be opportunities to gain positions throughout the course of the 40-minute race. Is it going to rain tonight, Trev? No, I don't think so. You've stumped him with the savoury box, Ryan. He's got uncooked pot noodle.
It's not an uncooked.
Uncocked? Okay. Easy for you to say. I'm going to go Ritz biscuits.
It's not Ritz biscuits, no, Jamie. It's not Ritz biscuits.
Savoury in a box is quite hard, isn't it?
Savoury in a box. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, the thing is, you always get these in a box. Yeah, it is a standard boxed food. So
Okay.
it's not like the box should throw people off and stuff.
Okay, you're sort of run-of-the-mill standard box-based snack.
Correct.
Okay, absolutely fantastic. Bobber is so close to that 153 Ryan, but just a fraction outside of it. Who else have we not seen so far tonight, Ryan? We haven't seen Bada Payne. Let's get on him. He's 19th, Ryan.
Yeah, Omasaur as well, Jamie. Yerasan off the pace as well. You know, Bada Payne, Yerasan, Omasaur, we've seen them all up there before. Duncan as well had a good race last week. He's down in 15th place. So, you know, certainly just the extra difficulty being applied to tonight's race because of the circuit, as we've explained, you know, about the sort of pros and cons of the circuit so far, certainly fall into the lap of others, perhaps running away from other people, because, you know, you would expect your Yerasans, your Omasaurs, your Duncans, you know, people like that, even Crichton's knocking on the door comfortably inside the top 10. But, you know, they're not able to squeeze in there. You know, your Frimo's doing well, though. Tony's in there doing well in 10th place. Rich is having a crack of the whip in 8th place. So, you know, certainly, if on paper there's about 10 people who could legitimately win this race, but the car track combinations each week tends to, like, you know, shake it up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a very fascinating season, you have to say. A few more guesses, Ryan. Gray's box, Jacob's crackers.
Neither are correct.
Is this an international thing, Ryan,
I mean,
or just UK?
On the box it says made in Italy, and I wouldn't say this is a UK only snack. I mean, they have these all over the place.
It's a well-known brand, is what you're saying.
Well, no, it's not a well-known brand. It's just a well-known thing.
Type of snack, breadsticks.
Bada bing!
Oh!
There it is, Kingsley.
Again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go on, Kingsley, son.
He's got it.
He's got it. He's absolutely nailed it as Kingsley. Snack Chat winner once again, and the gifted sub goes to the man himself. He's living off gifted subs from all these Snack Chat victories, Jamie. But yeah, breadsticks it is tonight. I'm going to crunch on one now. But talk us through the last 5 seconds. Go. Look at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, that's great, but new driver, Racer gets into 153 right at the end. New driver just managed to get in MF0, Ryan, so there we go. I just happened to notice that there, but yeah, what a finish, Ryan. Dazza taken home, he's back in the pits now, but Racer so close, Bobber right there, Nashif there, Chamberlain there, Kodiak's there, Theg just outside in the 55s, and then a whole bunch of drivers in the 55 and 56s. What a close race we got in store.
I love the use of swears from Benderama there, just to emphasise the point.
The second F-bomb, probably unnecessary. However, I feel like it adds some humour to it.
Yeah, better at Snapchat than racing. Says
Yeah, well, that's nothing to be ashamed of. Actually, Snapchat's a difficult game.
Exactly. Trev says these cars look fun. Well, it's been an interesting one, Trev. There was a big vote, as ever. We do every season. Vintage won. These cars were selected. Everyone hated them. But then off the back of last week's race, everyone was like, yeah, actually, that was a lot of fun. We had a good time. And then before the race tonight, everyone's like, these are rubbish. And I'm hoping after the race again, they'll be like, yeah, we really like them again. Because, you know, it was really close racing last week, wasn't it, Jamie? Which is almost
Amazing.
Like spread out. I can't really think of another day to describe it, but almost spread out the skill level required for these a little bit across the field, a bit wider. Because I mean, if you look at the grid we've got here, from first down to 12th place, you know, just over 2 seconds split in 12 cars. I mean, that's pretty close, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it reminds me actually, thinking back, We're on season, what is this, 19 now?
19,
Ridiculous. I can't remember what season number it was, but exactly what I was going to say, Trev. Just thinking on the same lines as me. I was just going to say the last season I can remember where the cars were perhaps, they were voted for, as always, but then when the reality dawned of people trying to race in them, there was a lot of, not sure about this, not sure about. But by the end of that season, I feel like people had grown to love them. And this exactly reminds me of that Enzo season. And that was a long time ago. Since then, we've not really had this experience, have we, Ryan? We've had a variety of different cars, of course.
We have. I mean, this, as I said, this is our 20th season. We've had loads of different cars. Well, 20 to be precise. And, it's great that people actually give them a go and and are honest at the end, and it's been good so far this season. One race in, race 2 looking good. We got Dazza, Racer and Bobber taking up your top 3 positions, with Nashif, Chamberlain, King Cody, Yerasan, Theg, Mr. Rich and Fridge making up your top 10. Further down we got Frimo, Tony, Duncan, Omasaur, Crichton Alpha, Buzzerwat, Toot, Backy, Badapane, McFly, Blindshun, Andre Hildebrand, Cycle Lizard, Toasty Toad, who has managed to sneak in Jamie despite his wheel issues, Roughnet1, Q-Blocks and Zerone joining at the last minute. So 27 drivers taken to the track for Zolder this evening. Let's go racing. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, 40 minutes of Zolder to get your teeth into. 40 minutes of these vintage Lotus to feast your eyes on. Jamie, who's going to win this race?
Oh my days! What a question. I mean, the first thing I've noticed, Ryan, is the good news that Racer does not seem to be having the connection lag issues on the grid that he did last week, which is really positive for him because he was robbed of a great race. So, with that in mind, I'm going to plump for Racer just because he was stolen the chance for victory last week. However, Ryan, it could literally be one of, 5 or 6, like you said. Absolutely great.
I was going to say, if you look at the top, and I don't want to put anyone's nose out of joint, but if you look at the top, I'm gonna go for 8, right? The top 8, because Steg did actually win last week, so I'll draw that line there. I mean, genuinely, if any of those 8 won this race, we'd be going, yep, that makes sense, fair play. They're quick enough. Like, that's the top 8 drivers, Jamie, that we're saying that about. I'm assuming you would agree with me on that.
Yeah, I mean, Trevin is stretched that to top 15. Let's just check who's in 15th. Oh, it's crying out. What a surprise. Let's have a look from 0 now at the back of the grid. There's just those turbines just gently turning in the wind, just charging the batteries for the lights in the nuclear power station next door to them.
Yeah, exactly. Kingsley using his shout out though. Bob is saying good luck. Kingsley says he can't tell who will win, probably Nashif, but I can tell you. Oh, excuse me, that Took will spin within the first 5 minutes.
I sort of want to watch Took for 5 minutes solid. Just check that now, but we can't do that. We can't do that.
Should we go like 10th place or something like that, Jamie?
No, I think there's such a stacked top few rows, Ryan. We need to see the action up here, I think.
Okay. Benderama's pulling for Theg from 8th to come through the top after the first lap chaos. Well, let's see how Dazza gets on. He's managed to maintain first place going into the first corner so far. Racer's got the inside line though, but Dazza comes across very smoothly. So far so good for all the races behind. Doesn't look like too much wheel banging going on as Yerasan pierces down the inside up to 4th place from 7th, and it's a great little run for him as he now holds 5th place in behind Nashif. But Dazza, Racer, Bobber maintaining those positions.
Dazza, we've lost him.
Oh no!
It looked like he just turned across, Ryan.
Him and Racer are gone, Jamie.
Where is Racer?
Well, Racer and him had a coming together, and they're both gone.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him. Here he is.
Oh, he's
still
there.
going, Racer. Oh no!
I mean, what happened?
Let's get a replay of that ride. If anyone's clipped that, that'd be great. Because I only saw it in the very instant, but it looked like Dazza just sort of turned across into him out of nowhere. Yeah. But we need to see that again, because I don't want to make a sweeping statement like that. But there we go, already drama, Ryan, as Bobber inherits the lead again through Racer's misfortune as last week. This time though, he's got Nashif, Yerasan and Chamberlain up with him. Here we go.
Here we go indeed, yeah. I mean, if someone can clip that, I mean, Jimmy, the king of the clips, obviously not listening to our call, Jamie, but perhaps someone could get on the clip station and get that sorted for us. But Took currently in 14th place, Jamie, 2 minutes into spin-a-thon league action for Took. He's got 3 minutes to go. Can he stop himself from spinning, Jamie? Is he going to keep in 14th place?
He's got a chance, yeah, he's got a chance. Doing well, actually. He's been glowing about these cars this week, Took, actually. Really enjoying them, I think. Had a good practice on Tuesday. There's that first lap carnage, said Kingsley. That was so, yeah. I mean, there wasn't any. That was the only thing that happened, right? Actually, it was no other carnage at all.
Yeah,
I have to say. And these cars, with the damage on, of course, full damage, they are very flimsy. With the designers, we see a small spin there, and oh no, and they've taken each other with them. And Took, I mean, it is a spin, but can you blame him? He was trying to avoid an accident.
No, to be honest, Jamie, I was just looking at this clip back, just seeing, as you said, you basically nailed it. Dazza just comes across straight into the driving line of where Racer is. I don't think he knew how close they were together, really.
Right.
And he just basically drove into the side of him, and it flipped the car. So, yeah, perhaps just not quite, doing the classic, check, move, mirrors, all the sort of classic stuff you get taught when you learn to drive a car.
Mirror, check, manoeuvre.
Exactly, yeah. Needs to do that.
Chamberlainer. Chamberlainer with an absolute bonkers move, a banzai move around the outside of Yeresan there, but he made it stick somehow. I'm not sure how he managed to stop the car in time, but he did. Luckily for him, Yeresan was fair enough to give him the space he needed it. But look at front, Ryan. Bobber not having all his own way this race, as Nashiv's right on his tail. Nashiv come out of nowhere, Ryan, to challenge for the win of this race.
Certainly has. Yeah, it's great to see racing in the higher echelons of the grid, and for the first time, we are seeing a great battle here between Bobber and Nashiv. We've only had 5 minutes, and let's hope this battle goes on and on, because it's reminiscent of last week, Jamie, where you've got these little packs at the top now. We've got a 1-2, there's a 3 and a 4 and a 5 altogether. You've got 6 not far behind, waiting to capitalise on any action. So we've got that little train of cars just waiting to capitalise on mistakes. There it all is, all in that shot, which for our leagues over the last few seasons, it has to be said, is rare, Jamie. But they're like circling sharks, ready to pounce on anyone making a mistake.
Yeah, fantastic stuff, Ryan. Absolutely fantastic. Ben Drama with his assessment of the incident there, Ryan, if you want to digest that for us.
Yeah, if I'm being charitable, I'd say he was trying to avoid going into the gravel on the right, and he didn't.
On the left, I think he must move. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably right. He's probably like, oh crap, going in the gravel, quick, go right, and he goes across, and then he goes, oh no, I haven't looked, and then he's like, oh, race is there, and like it's just a moment of madness, really. Obviously, we know Dazza's. He's not the sort of driver that would do anything like that intentionally. It's just an honest mistake, I think, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. Racer is Bobber out the race. Not Boris. I keep getting them mixed up. Dazza out the race because he lost his wheels, which is a bit of an issue in car racing. Racer is still going, but Racer is still going, and he does. Good news, Ryan, for you. He does still have 4 wheels. He doesn't have all of his, necessarily his other body bits, but he's got 4 wheels, Ryan. He must have some damage, but he is still going. He's up to 17th, so he's going to be trying to recover. Now, we know he's got absolute pace in these cars, as he weaved his way through and does too.
That's great,
there, Ryan. Great. You having that?
Well, and that is exactly what we were talking about during qualification, Jamie. Racer, he's got this circuit down. He's a very quick driver, makes absolute mincemeat of that chicane, and leaves 2 people in his dust. And that is the difference in quality between some of the drivers here tonight. As we said, that disparity between the top and the bottom, that clip right there showed it, because, as Ben Dorama admitted, he struggles with the chicanes. There'll be other drivers that struggle with the chicanes, and they take so much time off you if you get it wrong, that when you get it right in comparison, you gain so much more time. And that was it right there in front of us. That just sums up this track.
Yeah, absolutely. Kingsley with an alternative view. Yellow car, which is Racer, did start to move over though, and he's right. I did notice there was a slight movement. I think it's probably just a natural movement of the corner, the right hand corner, that Racer was just probably veering to the left slightly, and Dazza to the right, and they've just met in the middle, right?
Yeah, I mean, as said, none of the
racing incident.
Yeah, it's just a classic racing incident as well. I mean, Trevor Hunt banding about some nicknames early doors. I mean, he's calling Took and Crichton anti-deck. More like
That's
Bantam
definitely us,
Deck
isn't it?
with what they bring
Yeah.
to the community, eh?
Yeah,
Eh?
Anthem Deck, yeah. That's me. That's me and you, isn't it? Anthem Deck.
Yeah, no.
Or we Murray Walker and Martin Brundle. I'd
Neither.
rather be Anthem Deck, to be honest. Look at this though, Frimode up to 4th, Ryan, and having a good go to get himself on that podium. These positions are changing like the wind. Absolutely unbelievable. Rich up to 7th, Chainminator 6th, the Aerosan 5th now, Omasaur up to 8th, Took up to 10th despite that spin, although he's got Duncan right on his rear some. Here we go, Ryan.
Right on his rear son, yes. Took having a little snifter at the rear. He's having a little look behind him and going, oh yeah, I've got Duncan there, what am I going to do? Am I going to hold him off? Am I going to cut him off? Those two are racing hard, and it's great to see. Lots of challenging positions inside the top 10. As you said, Jamie, King Kodiak through the fire and the dust has got himself up to 3rd place so far, and he'll be very much used to that position based on last week's race.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Ryan. This is a great battle, though. Duncan really putting the pressure on Took, defending well. Like we said, he is enjoying these cars, and Took has definitely been improving as a racer over the last 4 or 5 months, Ryan. I think you'd agree.
Yeah.
So a solid top 10 for Took at the moment, but some pressure here and some good fun racing from Duncan as well. Kingsley, unpopular opinion, Martin Brundle is a shit commentator. Bender agreed, he's outdated, doesn't get the modern culture around F1. Ryan, any thoughts on the old MB?
Do you get the modern culture around F1, Jamie?
What is the modern culture around F1? Let's ask Bender on what he means by that first, before I tell you whether I get it or not.
Okay.
I quite like Martin, but I sort of know what they mean, and over the last few years he's become just more and more basically a Lewis Hamilton cheerleader and apologist, which is a bit boring, if I'm honest. So, but other than that, he's probably the best of the bunch. It's not a great bunch to pick from with Formula One commentators, Ryan, if I'm totally honest with you. He's no Ali McCoist.
Fair. No, Ethan, you're definitely not going crazy. I noticed that as well while Jamie was speaking there. There was just a solitary wheel in the middle of the road as we were just watching that race there. Just some carnage from earlier, just chilling on the track. Big up to new follower though, the Saged Juice Vin 22. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you on board. Great to have you following us here. As we jump to the cockpit of Theg, Jamie, who's got Tony up ahead of him, and he's got his eyes on a couple of positions he'd like to take. Yeah,
Theg not having quite the race he had last week, although don't forget he was sort of solid 6th or 7th for most of the race and 3rd starting the last lap, and he ended up winning it. So even from 18th with 30 minutes to go, Ryan, don't rule him out. I would say don't rule anyone out, as he's having a great go on McFly here. Not much space there, Ryan. He's going to be pushed to the outside, but he's going to have that overspeed, and there we go. Is he going to cut across and secure the place? McFly very generous there, and not fighting too hard, you would say, for that place. I'm just catching up. There's two long paragraphs there, Ryan. Yeah, so Kingsley first. He just copies everything Crofty has already says, and says things about 1 minute after I have in person to the people I watch F1 with. Yeah, Bendo, use of simulators. Oh, so this is the modern culture of F1. Use of simulators, engagement with the wider community around it, and the idea that unless you came through the traditional ladder, you aren't worthy of an F1 seat. You proper bitches around simulator use. Fair enough. That's a very specific point, Benderama, but yeah, perfectly valid. There's definitely a new breed of Formula One drivers, Ryan. Especially in this lockdown period, we've seen. Oh dear, who was that? Tony. Getting a Tony. Yeah, right hand the knee there of his vehicle. What I was going to say is people like Lando Norris, and I saw the other night Roman Grosjean was all streaming, and Verstappen streaming themselves in simulators, doing racing and stuff. That sort of newer generation, not Grosjean of course, but the others, is definitely more inclined to that. Yeah, no, exactly. And I think in every industry, in every walk of life, Jamie, whether we like it or not, technology is a coming. You've either got to embrace it or you're not going to get anywhere. So it's just a bring VAR into F1 is what you're saying, is it? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that would be amazing. VAR. Yeah, get VAR. I don't know how. Stop the race, lads! Stop the race. Just got to send this to VAR.
hold there. Just go back. Hold there. Yes,
It takes
illegal
that long in
overtake. Let's go back, please.
If it takes that long in football, imagine how long it would take in Formula One.
Yes.
Oh, dear. Oh, I see what Bendo's saying. He's not happy with e-sports drivers getting real life race seats. Well, you know, it's, you know, in my opinion, right? If you're quick enough, you're good enough. Whoever you are.
They can jump in a car and, you know, I mean, it's not as if like they've been given a seat and they've never driven a car before. It's not like they've gone, oh, you're really good in that simulator. Ever driven before? No. Oh, you'll probably be alright in a car. Just jump in there, mate. Like,
This is £12 million car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just jump in and have a little rinse and rain, will you? Like, they've obviously got some ability to drive an actual car, not just on a simulator. Otherwise, they just wouldn't be able to do it, would they? So, you know, come on, Mark.
Should we?
Get yourself together.
Should we do? Should we buy one of the old? You can sometimes buy the old F1 cars from, like, you know, a few seasons ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Should we buy one as with the Noob's bank account, right? And just do some crazy filming with it.
I mean, putting your foot down in a proper F1 car would probably just scare the shit out of me, to be honest. They're just fucking quick, basically, aren't they? Like,
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to drive them quick enough to make them actually stay on the track. Is the problem we would have. Yeah, we'd be too scared.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be putting your foot down and going, no, just let us.
And then the tyres would be so cold because we weren't going anywhere near quick enough that we would just spin on the first corner anyway.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Because, you know, we're the classic Martin Brundle, you know, combo of we have a go on sort of, you know, simulation games but never driven a car. So if I was if I was given a seat, I could understand him being a bit annoyed about it, but, you know, I'm not being given a
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Imagine you popping in. Oh, I tell you what, I would bloody love to see Jimmy have a go in an F1 car. Because he gets car sick in my car.
Yeah.
And you get a bit car sick actually as well, don't you, when you're not driving?
Yeah.
I'd love to see Jimmy have a go in an F1 car. That's fantastic. We'd have
Anyway,
to. That would be a great film.
It would.
Come on,
We've
then.
got a race on our hands here between Yeresan and King Kodiak, though, for that final podium position. Yeresan right up the chuff of King Kodiak, hoping to squeeze past. Nashif have picked up a penalty in second place, Jamie. Quick penalty check, perhaps.
Let me hook you right up. It's 2 seconds. So Bobber has extended a bit of a lead, about 4 seconds, but nothing major. Nothing major at all. Let's get a little check on fuel. Yeah, as expected, they are going to have to
big coming together from
Yeresan
Yeresan and King Kodiak, ladies and gentlemen. Yeresan quickest away from that incident. It looks like he's holding on the throttle to let King Kodiak catch up and get near him. It looked that way anyway. Yeresan just up ahead. There's Chamberlator in the distance as well. Yeah, not fun times for either of them there, Jamie. Losing some places, and it's Frimode up to third place.
King Kodiak was last week was very lucky as well. Do you remember right? Twice he got nudged from behind, and it cost him time on both occasions. And I might correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Yeresan was the culprit one of those times last week.
It was King Kodiak actually coming into the back of Yeresan, if I remember it correctly.
I don't know about that.
But if you want to watch the 13-minute highlight video of last week's race, head to our Facebook page, facebook.com/NoobGamerz Live, beautifully put together by last week's winner, Theg. It's on our Facebook page. Go and watch it if you want to get to grips with what we were on about from last week's race. I mean, it was sensational. And hopefully, you know, there might even be a cheeky little highlight session of this one. We shall see. But Chamberlator in fourth place now. Jamie has the opportunity to get himself into the podium positions as he hunts down. I'm hoping it's Frimode. It could be Fridge. It's Frimode.
It's Frimode. Yeah, absolutely. Excellent close racing here as their wheels come very close, but they do manage to stay apart on that same corner that we saw the incident earlier on, Ryan. Lots of great battles out there today, Ryan. Absolutely brilliant race yet again. Thanks, Benderama, for popping by. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Sorry, I just want
He
to
needs to head off, mate.
We're in a lockdown, Benderama. Where are you going? Where
We're going to watch a film with his wife or something. Bender's bird.
But you can't do that. We're in a lockdown. So what?
I don't know. Well, you can't go watch a film with his wife.
No, cinemas are closed. They're closed, aren't
No, I mean, on the telly. Oh, all right. Anyway, he just wants to say that the news bar looks like the kind of place where girls go to pick up non-league footballers night. I don't think anyone's targeting non-league footballers specifically. You must have to have a very low self-esteem to be specifically targeting people who pretty much earn the same as normal jobs.
Christ, yeah, you've only got to go on Twitter and Instagram these days, Jamie. There's a lot of desperation in the air, but Frimo is certainly one who's desperate to get himself on the podium positions. Chamberlator with the penalty ahead of him as well. So technically, Jamie, Frimo currently in third place, but he doesn't want it as a technicality. He wants it from his own right. He wants to be in third place on the track, and I'm sure he's going to have a right old go in the remaining 22 minutes of this race to do it.
Would it be a disappointment if he didn't? Ryan Kingsley saying, when your lockdown is over, you should all meet and stream a noobs karting session with Ian Leasery and Jimmy H. I mean, we've done, we did a Silverstone meetup. Did we do two? No, we did one Silverstone meetup, didn't we? And then we did a staff sort of event, not event thing, which is hanging out. We talked about doing a noobs karting meetup before, but Jimmy hates karting, doesn't he? So he wasn't up for it.
Yeah, he's like...
Basically, I think it makes him sick or something. To come back to the car sick thing. Seem to remember something like that. Right? Have you ever done karting, Ryan?
I have, yeah, with you actually. So I'm a bit disappointed that you didn't.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, we went for Harvey's birthday when we were younger.
Did we?
Yeah,
we
at
did.
Swindon.
Oh, yeah, we. Oh my God, that was a long time ago.
Well, you know.
Yeah, that was good though.
The fish, maybe.
Yeah, you do in the abandoned aircraft hangar. That was good actually.
I came second, so.
Seeing settle the fastest is in a hire car. Well, the thing with karting is, it's more to do with how much you weigh than actually your ability as a driver, to be honest. So, the lightest would win, who I think is probably Ryan. So there we go.
Well,
I can settle that for you right now.
I mean, I have been on a diet recently, so thanks for noticing.
It has been Christmas though, so who knows? All bets are off. I mean, it's definitely not Ian. So.
Yeah, but he is tiny.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, he is like a midget.
The height factor could come into play.
Yeah, you've got a low centre of gravity, low weight.
Yeah.
You know, you can barely see him. You have to squint a little bit. Is that a real person? Oh yeah, no, it is a real person. Because he's that short. So.
It's a real person. Did you ever think you'd be taking the mick out of someone for their height?
No. This is me at 6 foot. At 6 foot, I wish.
6 foot.
5'7", taking the piss out of someone who's actually shorter than me. Unbelievable.
Big dog.
Right.
Like I was genuinely shocked when we met him in real life.
Yeah.
He hides it well in photos, to be fair. Here's Blindshun. He's battling on with Feg, who's in 12th. So making his way up the leaderboard, right, but still a little bit away from last week's dramatics, as Feg actually moves over and lets him through. 4 in the pits, Ryan. All of the leaders in the pits, apart from Chamberlator.
Apart from Chamberlator, yeah. Chamberlator stays out, Mr. Rich stays out, so Nashif, Bobber, Free-Mode, and the King Kodiak in the pits. Racer's up to third place momentarily, Jamie, considering he had that incident on the first lap. That's a hell of a comeback, to be fair to him. Look at those last lap times from him as well. Yep. Absolutely rinsing rain. 1:55.2's his last lap Racer. Alright, he's still 12 seconds off of Chamberlator at the top, but he's got to be happy with that recovery, it has to be said.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's given himself a chance for more points, Ryan, of course, because every position gets points. Is it? Or have we gone back to top 15?
No, every position. Although Fridge is off the track.
Oh, Fridgie. Oh, Fridgie, Bidge, Bodge. Yeah, so Chamberlator stays out, Ryan. He's got 1.3 litres of fuel left, so he will be in soon. Let's see how Race is doing. 0.8, Ryan. Absolutely on the edge for Racer.
It's good to see that Mr. Rich is still out there as well. He's playing with fire.
Yeah, he's definitely. Mr. Rich famously, of course, running out of fuel on the very last lap of his first ever race. I feel like we mention that every time. We should probably stop mentioning it, but he probably shouldn't have done it. So.
It's funny.
What's the fuel economy like in these cars? Not great, and they're very small, so they've got very small tanks. Speaking of small tanks, Ryan, Bad Pain blasting his way through to another subscription.
Well, it's tinged with sadness, that subscription, Jamie, because of course that does only mean one thing. Badapane must not be racing with us anymore.
No,
he's obviously
right.
dropped out the race. He's able to join the channel and give us a subscription. That we obviously appreciate and love it, Badapane. But he's blasted his way into the wall, he says. Oh no, that's not going to have done it. That's not good. But welcome to the stream anyway, Badapane. Obviously, commiserations on you falling foul of the race. But hopefully you can, grab a stiff one, sit back, relax, and drink it in for the rest of the final 18 minutes of this session. Frimode having a little spin though, Jamie. He won't be happy with that as the places start to go back to how they were post pits. Bobber now gets the position back at the top. Nashift 5 seconds behind. So Bobber in full control of this race at the moment.
Full control indeed, Ryan. Yeah, and he's managed to get. Let's just check his fuel. Actually, he has managed to successfully pit for fuel this week, Ryan. So he's not going to have a repeat of that. Nashift 5.9 seconds behind, but does have that penalty as well. So Bobber worked his way into a great place, benefiting from that Dazza and Racer collision, Ryan. Early doors on the first lap. Let's jump on board with Crichton, who's having a good old battle with Tony.
Tolner. What's going on? Tolner.
Alright. I think so. Yeah.
Tony. I could do different versions if you'd like. Should I just
do Scottish?
So anyway, Crichton Alpha is battling with the big TK for 15th place at the moment. Crichton Alpha, perhaps, pre-race predictions of him winning this race, Jamie. But only 15th place at the moment. Him and his fan club will be devastated.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Talking the big talk, Crichton, but not delivering so far. But he's had a very solid few months, hasn't he? Racing. Wiley79 is here, though, Ryan, who simply says, "Hey, Noobs."
Hey Wiley, are you wearing your Rolex? That's the big question I've got for you, Wiley. Welcome to the stream.
Sorry?
Wearing your Rolex, the Wiley song? No? Anyone?
Who's Wiley? Not an artist, is it? I mean, I literally work in that industry. I don't know who that is. Wiley.
I literally served Jamie up gold sometimes.
Joe Wiley. Joe Wiley.
No, just
So
Wiley.
I've googled Wiley and I've got Joe Wiley and Wiley the programming language.
Just
He's obviously
type
not that
in
big, isn't he?
wearing my Rolex. You know the song.
Okay.
Yeah. Wiley sees the funny side. It's fallen flat because Jamie doesn't know modern music. Yeah. Get with the kids. Yeah.
Wiley wearing my Rolex.
Yeah.
Came out in 2009, mate. So
It's not that modern actually, is it? 11 years,
so-
12 years ago. That was.
yeah. No,
Blimey
sorry,
hell.
2008.
2008.
2008. So that's why I don't know who he is.
Oh, well, there you go.
He's probably not touring.
Kingsy's like, who's the F are you on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. You're right, Ryan.
Well, I thought it was a good link, but anyway,
Yeah.
Frimo thinks he's having a great race because he's in 6th place. He's not actually. Frimo's in 5th place. Mr. Rich is in 6th
Yeah,
place.
he is.
And he's going to hunt him down and see what he can do.
Oh,
Racer!
no.
What
What's
happened?
happened, Racer? We were tracking your recovery drive. Tell us what's gone on. Not the connection again, Ryan, surely.
Hopefully. But I sort of hope it's not a head's gone either. He can pop the emote in there earlier. Mr. Rich in channeling is in a DJ, getting a spin, getting on those decks and going round, round, round. And finds himself
Wiki
now
Wild
in
Wild
7th
West,
place.
as you say, to quote you.
Wiki,
Yeah,
wiki,
absolutely,
wild,
Mr.
wiki,
Rich.
wild, wiki, wild, wild West. Jim,
Oh, sorry, go on.
Rough Rider.
Yep.
No, you don't want none of this. Just gonna this brother running this Buffalo Soldier. Look, like that soldier. I'll stop. I do know
I mean, I
everyone.
know Will Smith is, yeah. I know who that is, so.
I mean, ironically, Will Smith brought out music, a long time ago in the past. So he's less known.
Yeah, but he's a lot more famous than pretty much everyone, though,
Yeah.
to be fair. Wiley is a rapper from London. I'm not. Well, that's disappointing. Could be a rapper from somewhere else, though.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
I think he was
welcome.
5 when it was released. Jesus.
5, maybe 4.
Kingsy's a young boy.
That makes me feel old.
He does, yeah.
How old was I?
It makes me
2000 was
think
it
of you as old as well,
2008?
right?
2008, I would have been 20 years old, Jamie.
Big 2-0. Yeah. And if you bought Bitcoin that year, you'd be worth $1 billion.
Oh, I did
Anything
read.
else?
Speaking of Bitcoin, I literally before we started this race, Jamie,
The guy in the dump.
read about a guy in
Yeah.
the dump who's offered the council
Yeah.
£55 million.
Yeah, he's
Go
been
and
trying
dig
to
up
get
the
that
dump.
for years, mate. And obviously, yeah, I read about that like 6 or 7 years ago, and it did
Yeah.
cross my mind, like, should I nip down and just have a go? But it's obviously come out again because of the crazy price hike in the last couple of weeks. So it's now his stash is now worth like 210 million. So
Yeah. Oh.
when he threw it away,
Livid
this is the
that.
best bit. When he threw it away in 2013. It wasn't as if it was worth nothing then, and now it's become loads. Even when he had it in his hand and threw it away, it was worth 7.5 million on that day. I mean,
Anyway.
I've been sort of, annoyed that I didn't do it when I should have done it years ago, right? And Anna said to me today, well, you think you're annoyed with yourself? Imagine how that guy feels.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, fair enough.
He's literally thrown away £200 million. Tukes looks like he's thrown away the race though, as he says, F's sake,
what a link.
look at my car. Can we have a look at Tukes' car?
No, we can't because he's not in the race
He's
anymore.
in 16th place, Jamie.
Oh.
Oh no! He can't move. He's got
I
no
love that
front tyres.
photographer is a professional photographer. There's a car smashed up right in front of him. He's not even looking.
No, not
Just
interested. Oh,
I'm
it's
not
Tuke,
interested,
isn't it? He's
lads.
like, it's only Tuke.
Yeah, he's nice. No, we're
Got
not
plenty
interested.
of pictures of Tuke in the wall. Don't need any more. Thank you. But yeah, unlucky Tuke. Great effort. I mean, yeah, Ethan sums it up. Yeah, just sit there for a second and think. Put yourself in the shoes of someone who has accidentally thrown away a hard drive worth 210 million
Consciously
pounds.
thrown it away.
And you've got to sit there and think you actually picked that up out of your house
Made
and
the
threw it in a
decision.
bin.
Yeah.
And like you've got to live with that. He must be going absolutely stir crazy. Like, I
He's
don't think I
literally
can live
done
with
nothing. All he had to
Yeah.
do was nothing.
it. Yeah,
Oh, mate, honestly, I don't know if I'd recover.
I know. I don't know. I think I'd go mad.
It would be so hard to get past it.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
very close together as Crichton Alpha tries to get past Tony. Actually, there, Jamie tries to squeeze past him, but Tony defends well. Nearly are coming together between the two cars for 13th and 14th respectively, but Crichton Alpha holds on to 14th place. Just having to apply the brakes perhaps a little bit harder than he would have liked there, as he certainly had the overspeed on Tony that he'd probably misaccounted for. And we nearly had some absolute scenes out on track. Ethan says, I can't see myself throwing away a hard drive in the first
Yeah.
place. I mean, yeah,
Popping it into landfill as well, right?
yeah, just pop it in
Into
a
landfill.
pop it in a bottom drawer in a desk, pop it in a wardrobe. I don't know, pop it in, just keep it on top of your PC.
It's a good
just,
point, actually. I think
like-
I've still got some old hard
Yeah.
drives knocking around. Maybe I could have a look on them.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah, just in case. So this race, 10 minutes to go. Bobber's looking very comfortable at the top of it. Nashif, Chambernator, looking very good for second and third as well. Jamie King Kodiak is slightly off the pace in terms of time with Chambernator at the moment. He did do a quicker last lap though. And there is the penalty of 2 seconds for Chambernator to consider as well. So all is certainly not lost with 10 minutes to go for these podium positions.
Absolutely, his Ryan takes 13th place. Wiley asking a question. No, actually, that's someone else. That's another story. They're all coming out the woodwork now. That the price up. Whoa! Whoa! Who was that? Was that Blanchard?
Yeah, I don't know. But well, what's this
No.
story? I haven't heard this one.
Oh my- There's a guy who's got some, and he can't remember his password, and he's tried so many attempts, and he's got 2 more attempts before it completely locks him out forever, and he doesn't know what it is. So he's just like scared to try the last 2 times. If you know what I mean?
Jesus. So we've got that guy who just can't
Yeah.
remember a password for millions of pounds. And we've got a guy who threw a hard drive away into a landfill worth 200 million pounds. What? I mean, as I said, I genuinely, if a reporter came to talk to me about that, I'd be
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing an interview on this. I'm not even
Don't talk to
talking
me about it.
Don't talk
I
to
mean,
me
the
about
first ever transaction with Bitcoin back in the day was some guy famously bought 2 pizzas, and it cost him 10,000 Bitcoin to do it,
Right.
and that would be worth about 400 million right there.
Oh, unbelievable. Tony coming
It was-
into the pits though, Jamie, which gives Crichton the opportunity to pass in the 13th place. Bobber in first place. Ethan saying, man, this race is crazy. I added the man in there. He didn't say that. He just said this race is crazy.
No, I think he did. I think he meant it though. So I think you've helped him out there actually.
Cool, yeah. But Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm really enjoying these cars, that has to be said, Ethan. This is race 2. You know, there's lots of action out on the track, lots of racing going down all over the place, positions changing, mistakes being made, and it's all the hallmarks of a fantastic championship, Jamie, is all I'm going to say.
It does indeed, yeah. It does indeed. Bobber obviously having more luck this time over, but yeah, it absolutely does. Where's last week's winner? Theg. So, you know, he's gone from a win. Solid top 10 again, though, Ryan. 8 minutes to go as well. So, pretty decent race for Theg.
Yeah, pretty decent race. Yeah, Ethan says, really makes you wonder what else was on that hard drive that made him throw it away. Maybe the 55 million to the council is to just keep stum about what else they find on it. And then they'll just remove that bit and then just cash in the Bitcoin, yeah. Took says he loves how the cars spin their reverse across the track and racers love the cars. It's my luck that sucks. Yeah, Racer, you're not having the best time of it. I mean, what was your... it'd be good to get your perspective, Racer, on the incident with Dazza at the start.
It would.
Sort of my perspective was Dazza's just sort of overcooked that corner, come across a bit too sharply, not really knowing you're there, got a bit, you know, scared of what could have happened going off on the track. And it was just, you know, an honest mistake by him. But, you know, would love to hear your thoughts. As Jamie, you flick over to Blindshin 666.
Yeah, he's having a little bash at Fridge here. He's recovered to 11th after a couple of spins, we said. Spot said clear, and I didn't see him, says Racer.
Okay. Simple as that then.
Yeah, I think you were more saying that it was perhaps the other way, that it looked a bit more like Dazza had made the mistake rather than Racer, I think you were saying.
That's what it looked like. I've only seen it once, but I guess that was just my initial sort of reaction to it. But I'd have to see it a few more times and sort of give it a bit more thought, perhaps. But that was my reason. That was my gut feeling. But yeah, Blindshin and Fridge battling here for 11th position. They have certainly still got an opportunity to get inside the top 10. Only 5 seconds splitting them, and Theg, who's currently the occupant of 10th position. Badapane cheering the boy Fridge on as Blindshin goes sideways. Just about holds it on, but that's going to lose him some serious time, Jamie.
It is indeed. Not great there. Let's check in with Bobber at the top, 6 minutes to go. Yeah, I mean, he's got a comfortable lead, but it's never been a ridiculous lead, has it? I mean, 8 seconds. It's not a crazy gap over the course of the whole race. Racer saying 2 leads back should have just settled it. So interesting, Racer Ryan taking a bit of the responsibility himself as well, though.
Okay, yeah, fair. I like it. I like it when people take a bit of responsibility. Yeah, so fair enough. I mean, it was, you know, to coin Jimmy's phrase, you know, you can't win it in the first minute, and basically that's what Racer said. You know, he perhaps shouldn't have gone so hard into that corner, just ease off a bit, settled in, you know, got comfy, and then used the rest of the other 39 minutes and 40 seconds to, you know, get stuck in. But yeah, fair enough, Racer. I appreciate the honesty. As Bobber has to contend with a couple of back markers, one of them, Jamie, in the middle of the road.
Quite high attrition on this race. We've lost 7 drivers, Ryan, which is quite significant for a normal noobs race, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say compared to last week, definitely a lot less action. I mean, last week was frantic. It was action every second, and we couldn't keep up with it all, even to the point where after the race, obviously in jest a little bit, we had a few people saying, like, you know, you basically didn't see any racing beyond the top 8. And that was because the top 8 was just literally changing places all over the shop. But it seems to have, you know, calmed down a little bit for these final 5 minutes now. There's a few more gaps in between races. Still some battles out there, sort of, you know, within a second or two. But perhaps, Jamie, everyone just settled in for the final parts of this race.
Yeah, it does seem like that. Maybe the slightly more suitable track has allowed people to settle in a bit more, like you suggested. Frimwood here in 9th. He's only a couple of seconds. We can see him there just ahead of us at Omasaw for 8th place. And actually, Omasaw does have that penalty, right? So let's check in. 2 seconds. So this is very close, actually. Right on the limit here for Frim. Currently, he's inside that 2-second mark. But obviously, that could change any time as that yellow car yet again, Ryan. That's a spin. That's a tumble. I wonder if that's Toasty too, because he was having those issues, wasn't he? With It is Toasty. Yeah, because I just remember him saying he was having a lot of issues with his wheel not working. So that would explain why I've seen a few spins there. So there we go. Crying out for though 13th. He is recapturing Blindshin Ryan. He wants that 12th place back.
Both in yellow as Crichton tries to catch Blanchard. We have seen Blanchard go sideways around a few corners recently, so perhaps losing a little bit of grip on his tyres more than he would have liked, and that could give Crichton Alpha an opportunity to swoop. And if you're a sim racer and you want to swoop on down to the NoobGamerz Discord channel and take part of some of our brand new events coming soon, we've added ACC to the roster, we've still got racing, we've still got Project Cars, and we've got Rocket League coming up next week, so plenty of games to get your teeth into as we see a mistake from Blanchard. And as we said, he's struggling perhaps with a little bit of grip, and Kodiak Crichton Alpha takes the position, my friend Jamie.
There it is, yeah, absolutely. There it is, Ryan. This is the only super close battle still with 3 minutes to go. Nashif just fallen back a bit. Let's just check their penalties. I think Nashif actually up to 4 seconds, but luckily for him, Chaminator not able to get much closer and actually has a small penalty of his own. King Koenig going to take home a solid 4th place that could see the King top of the table, given his 2nd place last week. We'll have to figure that out with Theg down in 10th. We've got Omersaul now, has caught up with Frimode Ryan. Well, it was the other way around, wasn't it? Frimode was catching him, so he's now passed, so Omersaul down to 9th place.
Okay, Theg still holding on to that 10th position at the moment, but there's a couple of cars quite close together here. Jamie obviously got some back markers in amongst it as well. But yeah, some good close racing going on in the final 2.5 minutes of this race. And we're on board with Omersaul. He really does want to improve on that position. He really wants that 8th place. And I guess, you know, to explain to people who don't know, as people who have been here a long time do know, there are points for every position now in the NoobGamerz Championships. And that is an interesting way, Jamie, to take a corner.
It is indeed. I mean, he's got away with it. Let's see if he's getting an extra penalty. No, not yet. He's already got the 2 seconds, Ryan, and that looks like he's going to cost him another place, actually, to Theg, who's now catching him up, courtesy of that issue, and is within that 2 seconds. So Omersaul losing a couple of places in the last lap or two, which is not ideal for the points situation.
No, it's certainly not. It does give Theg a great opportunity to try and catch now. We're probably close to this being the last lap. Bobber's probably, I don't know, halfway around. We'll probably get another lap in, I'm sure. So not long left of this race. Great supportive words from Ethan to his racer on the channel, though. And race just confirming they're fun. Thanks, Ethan. No Alfredo, on anyone. No blame, just a racing deal. Here we go for next week. That's the attitude that we like here at the NoobGamerz. But yes, a minute left of this race, Jamie. Theg in 10th place. Do you think he's going to make the Omersaul extinct?
Well, hopefully not extinct, because that would be particularly savage, but
Yeah.
I think he might get this place for sure. He does look like he's got a little bit more pace. Maybe his Omersaul got a bit of damage, I'm not sure, because he has been dropping the last few laps. But Theg, with that penalty for Omersaul, which would just double check, is now up to 3 seconds actually. So Theg Ute would surely comfortably pick up another place and, you know, repeat his trick from last week, Ryan. Pick up a pace on the last. Oh, he doesn't even need it. He doesn't even need it. Omersaul definitely struggling, and he's going to lose a few more places, Ryan. Courtesy as Crichton is just a bit far behind, maybe. He's going to be catching quick though, as the Omersaul just recovering there ahead of us. So with that 3 second penalty, it might just be slightly out of reach for Crichton. But Omersaul gone from 8th to 11th in the last 2 laps, Ryan.
Yeah, he will not be a happy bunny there. But Bobber on the victory lap now. Surely you have to say at this stage, no penalties, no signs of any damage. You know, putting some scintillating laps throughout this session consistently in the 155s. 11 seconds to the good ahead of Nashif, and this will be it once Bobber crosses the line at the end of this lap, Jamie. And it's been a good race tonight. You know, we've had good amount of action. You know, it's obviously in comparison to last week not quite as frantic, but there's been plenty of things going on the track, plenty of good driving, plenty of overtakes. So another solid race to continue season 19.
Absolutely. Yeah, who had the fastest lap, says Racer? Let's have a quick look. So 154.0 for Bobber. Is anyone going to be beating that, Ryan? I don't think so.
No.
154.033 for Bobber.
Yeah.
There we go. Chaminator pretty close, 154.5.
It's a great lap. That would have started him in 4th place in qualification, I think, that lap, Jamie. just in race trim, which is
Maybe it's really close. What was the Kings? 155.0. Yeah, a little bit off. There we go, right.
There it is.
And there it
Bobber.
is. In style.
All done and dusted. Good job on them. Well done, Bobber. Indeed, it is a great job from Bobber, grabbing himself a victory fresh back into the NoobGamerz community after a hiatus where he's just obviously went away. Probably went up into the mountains, meditated, took time mentally just to get himself together, and he's come back with a bang, Jamie, with a victory here in season 19, race number 2, and we'll of course be speaking to Bobber, Nashift, and King Kodiak in the end, Jamie, sneaking into third place ahead of Chambernator. So obviously not quite gone the way of Chambernator towards the end because of the penalties, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah.
Those penalties did make the difference. So it's King Kodiak, Nashift, and Bobber talking to us live after this race from the NoobGamerz studio once we're all done and dusted here. So stick around to hear the thoughts from those guys. We'll also be talking you through in a little bit more detail some of the changes that have been made to the community that were announced last week on the Discord channel, and of course it gives you guys at home the opportunity to ask us any questions you might want to know about it live. So plenty more to stick around for, Jamie, and another enjoyable race comes down to a close.
Indeed. Take us away. Oh no, we can't. We got to wait for the final standings, Ryan.
Jamie, we've been doing this.
How long have we been doing this?
This is
Come on.
season 19, and you've come basics, Jamie. Let's get back to basics, yeah.
Let's just get the foundations right, Ryan.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can build a good house.
Exactly. Yeah, and I feel like you've gone for we just missed that bit of foundation there. Just crack on, move on, don't worry about the other things. Got to give the people the consistency, Jamie. They need the results. They need the race to end. We can't just go off yet. Just calm down, man.
Anything else, or
No,
is that
I'm
enough?
Good. Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Yeah.
Osmo Speeders, good race, well done all, and it was certainly a good race for Bobber, who comes out on top. And there are the official results of this race. It's Bobber, Nashift, and King Kodiak, as we said, taking up your top 3 positions tonight, with Chambernator, Yerasan, Mr. Rich, Duncan, Frimode, Theg, and Fridge making up your top 10. Further down, we've got Crichton Alpha in 11th, it's 12th above Lineshaw, Omasaur grabbing 13th, and it's Tony 14th. 15th Psycho Lizard, McFly88 16th, and it's 17th above Buzzerwhack, with Roughneck 1 grabbing 18th. Qblocks 19th and Toasty Toad 20th, and as Jamie says, we lost 7 drivers throughout the course of this race for a variety of reasons, but it's time now that we head back to the NoobGamerz VIP bar to grab ourselves a well-deserved drink. Let's go. Woo! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the NoobGamerz studio. The waitress service here is divine. Just call them over, get yourself a drink, sit down, get comfy, as we're about to analyse and dissect every single second of the action that we just saw, Jamie. What did we think of tonight's action?
Yeah, a very different race, wasn't it, from last week's franticness, but a bit more measured race, but tactically interesting still. Bobber managing to get away. Big incident at the start that really took 2 of the main contenders out. It would have been fascinating to see what battles we would have got there with Bobber in the mix as well. Nashift returning from his what should we call it, Ryan? His mental retreat.
Just say it's break. Yeah,
Spa break.
Yeah.
Yeah. And performing very well, actually. And then King Kodiak again, courtesy. Actually, last week he lost out because of the penalty. This week he's gained because of it. Yeah. And got himself on for the 2nd podium in a row. Yeah, good times.
Good times indeed. Yeah, so it is the top 3 we're speaking to tonight. And first up, as Jamie said, King Kodiak, who grabbed himself a 3rd place position, taking advantage of the penalties around him tonight. He got off penalty free after a clean race. Zolder picking up the bronze medal. King Kodiak, I'm assuming you're live in the studio with us now. How did you find the race tonight?
Exhausting.
Cool. Simple as that then. Just exhausting. I like it.
I'm used to King giving us like a very eloquent, detailed and insightful analysis of the full race. So I sort of just was waiting there for... He's gone for that Why was it exhausting, Kid Kodiak?
Well, weirdly, I seem to have forgotten how to take turns 1 and 2 as the race went on. It started well and just got worse in Sector 1. But I was just determined to keep it on the black. I knew I didn't have the pace. Fair play to Bobber. He really deserved better last week as well with the pace he had. Shame that, again, we lost Racer. Nash, I had lost Nash long ago. So I thought, okay, I'll settle for 6th. And then Yurasan had a moment in the pit lane. So I was like, okay, I'll deal with 5th. And Chamberlain fell over and I just worked my way up to 3rd. So I'm knackered and confused, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for, Ryan.
Yeah,
there
exactly. There it is. We've got the explanation we need.
I can't disappoint you, Jamie. I can't disappoint you.
Not disappointing at all. Like, feel free to say as much or little as you want. I've grown used to it. Is all.
Yeah. So 2 podiums in a row now, King. Race 2 down, 2 to go. What do you think of your chances overall? Are you trying to stay in that top 3 perhaps for the overall championship? Have you got your sets out a little bit higher than that?
It'd be nice to take the crown, but I'm not the fastest in these cars. I'm here due to the misadventures of others, and I know I am here due to the misadventures of others. But again, we always harp on about consistency is king, and I believe it was you, Jamie, that called me Mr. Consistency last week. So I need to live up to that moniker, and that's what I'm trying to do.
And you've had a bit of bad luck actually, despite probably being in first place in the championship. I would imagine, based on your first 2 results, you have had a bit of bad luck. I mean, you were nudged off a couple of times last week. You were nudged off this week, or caught up in an incident we saw.
How did I know you would have seen that one incident?
Yeah, but again, it's none of which are your fault. So you've been the recipient of some bad luck, and yet still coming out. So I don't know. It's looking pretty rosy for the king. Could we be crowning the king officially, Ryan?
Well, we'll have to see. Hopefully, King Kodiak, you'll be back next week. But really enjoyed you having it out on track, and all, as ever, great to speak to you here in the studio.
Pleasure to be in the hallowed grounds with thy gods. Thank you very much, gentlemen. See you next time.
See you
Thanks,
soon.
King.
Thank you very much. So there we go. 3rd place, King Kodiak. Perhaps surprised at the result tonight, but happy nonetheless. Big up to a couple of subscribers that we've had. Fridge has subscribed for the 6th month, so really do appreciate it, my friend. And the man himself, who's just about to join us live into the studio, our 2nd place, I was going to say winner. It's not really 2nd place winner, but 2nd place position. Nashift, fresh off his break. He's back in for the season and he's dropping a subscription. So we're going to thank him live. Nashift, are you there?
I am, boys.
Here he is. First things first.
Hey,
Nashift, appreciate the gifted sub you're laying on us, my friend. As ever, big love.
Thanks, oh, mate. After last week, I didn't do any practice for last week's race. I don't know if it showed. I might have spammed about once a lap. I was channeling my inner John. But I had the week off this week, so I got to do that as well as play a lot of World of Warcraft. So
There he is.
kind of helped.
Brave, Ryan, isn't it? Mentioning that on the stream. That's brave.
Yeah.
I know Jimmy won't kick me because he's probably playing it now.
Jimmy's not here. He's not watching the stream. He doesn't watch it. Come on, he's too good for that. Yeah, great race, Nash, mate. And thanks for the gifted sub. I mean, you've gifted 45 subs. I mean, that's a lot of money you've wasted on us. So I can only say thanks, I guess.
It's because I put it on when I go to sleep, so you'll.
So we're actually helping you get a good night's sleep.
Yeah,
well, there we go then.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
It was a good race. It was a bit upsetting at the beginning, obviously, with Daz and Racer colliding, because I think they would have had a great race, and I would have just tried to hold the coattails as I did on Bobber, and it didn't work. So, but sort of had the pace for 2nd, I suppose.
Yeah, he certainly did. Yeah, so well done, my friends. We'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah,
Another
well done to Bobber as well. The very good man he is. He's very fast.
Indeed. Yeah, he did have a great race tonight, to be fair to him. But yeah, Nashift, we'll see you next week. Well done once again on 2nd place, and have a good one, my friend.
See ya.
Cheers, Nash. Bye, mate.
So Nashift giving us his views there. Jamie's pretty content with the race. He thought he might have been able to hold on to the coattails of some other drivers, but hey, 2nd place, he's happy. So up next in the studio, 1st place Bobber, romping home with a very solid win after 40 minutes of racing. and hopefully he's got a smile in his face from ear to ear. Bobber, how are you?
Well, lads, it was a great race actually. Did my best and just ended up coming out on top, which was pretty great for me overall. Thanks.
Yeah, Bobber, your voice seems to have changed, which is
What are you talking
anyway.
about?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
What accent did I have?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I mean, obviously first place, Bobber. Fastest lap as well. You must be loving these.
Yeah.
things.
It's easy. It's easy for me, really. The boys in front, they had a bit of a coming together and smashed each other out of the way, and I was through. And then, Bob's your uncle. That was it. Done, really.
Cool. Funny, Jamie's not asking you any questions during this interview, but
I'm back. No, but I'm back. Yeah, Bobber. Who would you say your favourite commentator is out of the sort of the two boys here? Well, it's got to be the main man, Ryan Armour, I imagine.
Cheers. No, I really do appreciate that, Bobber. Nice of you to say that in front of Jamie as well. So,
Yeah.
Bobber, well done. Great. It sounds like you need to get off and just go and relax the rest of the evening. But appreciate you joining us here live in the studio.
Yeah, no problem. Just want a quick shout out. My least favourite driver, I'd say, is got to be Took out of all of them. So, cheers.
All right. Well, that's Bobber, ladies and gentlemen.
That's really weird. Why would he say that right at the end?
That's a really weird thing to say. Yeah, sounds
weird. No, he's not here, mate.
Oh.
Don't know if you noticed, but he's not here.
Yeah, I didn't know it was actually too bad. But anyway, no, of course I did. Right.
I thought I covered that.
Interviews all done and dusted. Unfortunately, Bobber unable to join us, not in the Discord channel. So let's head deep and down into the NoobGamerz Disco, where Jamie's going to crown his driver of the day. Let's go. Whew, Jamie, the fans behind, they were excited after another great race we saw here live in the NoobGamerz studio. The party is kicking off as ever. The top of the leaderboard for season 19 is also kicking off with people winning left, right and centre. And it was another 40 minutes of exhilarating action.
Absolute scenes, Ryan, yeah. I mean, look at them. They're absolutely loving it. This has got to be my favourite of all the stream scenes, I'd say.
Loving it down here in the disco. But anyway, Jamie, one question remains, and that is, who is tonight's driver of the day?
Now, I don't want people to think that the NoobGamerz is pay to win, Ryan. Because the guy I'm going to pick has just donated a subscription. All I'm saying is it can hurt. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm going to go for Nashift. What a comeback, Ryan. He's been out for a while and it sounds like he's really tuned in and put the effort in this week and it's paid off well. So I'm going to go for Nashift.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to hear a driver, put in the hard yards during the week. Pays off on race day, and that's what it's all about. Sim racing is not as pick up and play as some people imagine it to be. So you've got to put a bit of practice in. He's done that and got the reward. So well done to Nashib tonight's driver of the day. So that's it for the racing, ladies and gentlemen. All that's left to say is get yourself over to the Discord channel. Say there was a raft of changes made to the upcoming schedule for 2021, Jamie, and of course a brand new stream coming live to the people from the start of February, Monday Night Club. Tell me about it.
Well, I can't tell you anything about it, Ryan. Yeah, because we need to figure out what it is first, I think. But what will that be? That will be the actual 1st of February, won't it? Perfect. Monday the 1st, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's just going to be a nice chill time where we're busting down the walls, the containing prison walls of the sim racing world, and opening up ourselves to the entire gaming spectrum, really. So, because there's a lot of guys in the community and guys and girls that play all sorts of different genres of games. So we're just going to have a chat, talk about some things games we'd like, maybe have a look at some gameplay, do some little reviews, have some Jackbox game says Steg, maybe have some little question and answer sessions with the community, you guys. So anyone who's interested in any sort of games can come along and join us for a lovely couple of hours, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be chatting all things gaming. We're going to have a new topic every week to discuss. We're going to take your questions from the channel on a whole host of gaming subjects too. There's going to be quizzes and there's even going to be some gameplay. Lots to get your teeth into every other Monday night starting in February, and of course it's ACC intervening with that, so we go Monday Night Club, ACC, Monday Night Club, ACC, and so on. Race rooms on Wednesday, project cars on Thursday, and Saturday saved for one-off specials. We've got Rocket League coming up We've got an ACC 6-hour event coming up as well this year, so plenty of special events to adorn your Saturday nights and days with. And the NoobGamerz, Jamie, just taking another turn up a notch into, you know, the realms of being a proper community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just try and catch up with the chat there, right? Actually, cheers, mate. Nice to have you back, Nash. And you, Racer, bold of you, assume Racer. Do you know what's going on there, Ryan?
I haven't been keeping up with it, Jamie, because it's...
No, that's what I was trying to do.
Haven't got the chat down in the studio here, down in, you know...
Oh,
you know.
that is...
No, I have really, but, you know, I've got to concentrate on the people behind me because, you know, I've been mugged too many times here for autographs and pictures, so I've just got to keep myself, you know...
Not actually mugged.
No, not actually mugged, not actually mugged.
No.
Yeah.
No,
not actually mugged.
okay.
But anyway, Jamie, the racing action was all done again once for tonight. You know, as ever, there was only one place to be, and that was right goddamn here on NoobGamerz TV. And I thank you, Jamie, for being by my side once again.
Thank you. The pleasure, as always, is mine and the listeners and the viewers.
Good. And as you said, Jamie, the viewers, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight, whether you subscribed, whether you chatted, whether you just sat back and said not a single word and just enjoyed the action. That's okay too. We don't really mind how you engage with us, as long as you engage with us in some way, shape or form. We love it. Appreciate all the support. We'll see you on Discord, and if not, we'll see you, I don't know what, next Thursday. We do it all over again. Why not, Jamie? Yeah,
Go on then.
go on then.
Treat
All right,
yourself.
we'll treat you. So we'll see you Thursday. Have a great weekend, and yeah, look after yourselves. Bye bye.
Unbelievable manoeuvre from Seb. Inside smoke galore at the front. Oh no, what's going to happen here? The back. Looks like Mr. Brisket and Dom Teacher both make an early one. Oh no! He's going for it. Where's he going to be?
Anyway, as a community,
Ooh. No! Always turns to shambles. What our specials talking to shambles. Oh my days! And that looks. I'm gonna call this early doors. That looked like a takeout. Oh no! Spoon! Oh no! No! This ain't a ball, please. Oh! Wow! 123.9. Oh no! There's a late winner. He's that. Well, Spoon, you out of nowhere. Six of that. They wanted to Oh, what a rubbish track we joined that was. What a move! Is he going to make it stick though? Tough corner to make it stick on. Is he going to go round the outside? Unbelievable! Oh! Wow!
Fantastic move.